Good morning, sunshines, aka good afternoon, good evening, not even sure. It's been quite the day over at the Carroll household already. Let me just fix this. Maybe not. Don't have any lights on, that's no problem. Hey guys, this is your Good Morning Sunshine at noon 1 on Monday, and I want to just first start off by giving gratitude for my incredible hairdo and complimenting Jace for doing this for me. He said he's not very good at ponies, but he'd give it his best shot, and I think his badassery on ponytails is amazing, so I kept it in. You guys think that's a good idea? I figured there's gonna be totally different people because I never do midday Good Morning Sunshines. So if you're new, you write Good Morning Sunshine in, and then you write something that you're thankful for, and you write something that you're speaking into. So an I am is awesome, and there are some of my regulars on here. Hi guys. So please do that, your Good Morning Sunshine, and I will just catch you guys up on life. And the title Breathe just fits in perfectly for today. I woke up, for those of you that are new, since this is a different time of the day, write rewatch too if it's a rewatch, but I do my good morning usually Monday through Saturday about 8 a.m. each day, 8:05, and we just talk about empowering ourselves for a better life, for more happiness, for more success, for more smiles, just for living a really rich life, and just areas that we could contribute to that. Like, how can we find more happiness? How can we seek more passion? We've been talking about that. And how can we be more happy with what we currently have, right? Morning, Joey G's. There's all sorts of people. Morning, Carlton. Or afternoon, sorry, I forget. Anywho, so today I got up to do my Good Morning Sunshine, and actually we've been having a bit of just adventures over here in the Carroll household, and I'll do my gratitudes and stuff at the end. I'm just gonna go right into story time, and you guys can do your gratitudes as you're listening to this or as you're watching or whatever. But it's been craziness, right? So I had my surgery pretty last minute, scheduled it last Wednesday, and then I was on my meds. I hated that, guys, through Saturday. Then just kind of figuring out how to deal with the coming out of that and the pain and stuff the next couple days, whatever. So I'm doing pretty good with that. Still a little tired, but there were moments in that I had to just breathe through it. Do you guys ever have life where you're God dang, I just gotta breathe right now. There is some stuff that's going on where maybe it makes you nervous or worked up or frustrated or aggravated or out of sorts, and you want to paste a smile on your face, but also it's tough. There's life that's happening to you, and you're I just need to breathe. So my breathe moment before my surgery, I did pretty good, just showing gratitude. Sometimes I fake it till I make it. Don't mind all the noises coming from behind me. That's not gonna stop. I'm pretty good at faking it till I make it, and it makes me feel what I'm faking. If I paste that on, I can feel I'm excited about surgery. I'm good with this. I'm excited to be better, and I pretty much carried that on the inside until right before I went into the operating room when John left my side. So when he had to go out and the anesthesiologist came in, I felt myself that anxiety start to surface. And this could be in any area of your life, right? Where your heart starts to race, and you're your brain starts to make up all these stories about what could happen. Your brain, you almost start to lose control of what your thought process is. And I found myself having to just breathe. I self-talk to myself for sure. I have to coach myself in that moment where he's gone. I'm oh my God, it's starting to work up, and I'm just calm down for a second, just breathe, everything's gonna be fine, and then re-talk myself into the good areas, right? So when things are slipping away or there's frustrating sides, having to actually catch that and pull yourself back into this moment of just breathe, just breathe through it. It's going to be okay, and that you're gonna figure it out, right? And then this morning when I was gonna do my video, I've been watching some of your guys' posts, and some of you have been having some funky life happen, funky situations go on, and I was maybe I need to talk to them about just breathing, because when you're faced with adversity or challenge, people, just some jacked up stuff that happens to you, you want to be so angry and so frustrated, but then it's well, what can I do about the situation? Can I fix it? The good old fashioned, can you change it? My brain's not working that well today, but the power to change, to change what you can, but to accept and move on with what you can't change. And that stuff just happens when it does. Sometimes you just have to just breathe about it. Okay, that happened. That was effed up. That was jacked up. It happened, but I'm going to breathe through it. and I'm gonna, whatever you do to empower yourself, say your gratitudes, find your power in that moment, have your anchor point in the future, and just breathe whatever you have going on, right? And I was just about to do my video this morning, but I was trying to figure out how to get my son into the doctors because he started this fever. Like Saturday morning, he was crying when he went to soccer practice. Not normal. He just did not look like himself on the soccer field Saturday, although he did score a goal, which was phenomenal. But came off and was just kind of out of sorts and was laying on the couch that afternoon and had a fever, like 102, got up to 103, where you're like, okay, like, so he's sick, like maybe it's a flu, there's some sort of virus. And you, like parents out there, you know, you're always worried about your babies, but as you've parented longer and longer, you kind of like know what to watch for, right? And like in that moment where you're like, you want to take their pain away, you want to take whatever they have going on away, you can't. Like you just breathe, right? You just breathe next to them and just, it's going to be okay. Like you getting worked up about it only gets other people more worked up about it. Like even other situations in your life, right? Your calmness breeds calmness. Your anxiety, fret, worry, and pain breeds more of the same from other people. And then it just like festers. It gets worse and worse. So we were just calm, and Jace is like not feeling well, and Saturday night pursued Sunday all day. Yesterday he was just like laying, crying, fever, 103, 102, just up and down. Then I finally called the hospital, like children's line, awesome, right? They're like, no problem unless it's 105 or certain things go wrong, like just let him rest. So we were up all night last night again, and they said, you know, if it's still persisting, we'll just go see have a doctor's appointment. Why not? Just check it out, see what's going on. And I was about to do my video with you guys this morning, but I needed to call urgent care to see what was like doctor's office, you guys, for me is the same cost as urgent care for my insurance. I don't know about yours, but like I was figuring that out so I could get him in sooner than later, just so that we could just get him start to get him healthy, like with my surgery, just get it done so we can see what's going on, start to get healthy. And in that time where I was about to press play to do my video, he's like, Mom, like I need you, like I need you by my side. So I went down to cuddle him and got a hold of urgent care and went over there to get him in. And while we're in there, like he just didn't look great. Like he just honestly, like his breathe wasn't happening so natural for him. Like a lot of like when your baby's not having a good time breathing, like that kind of freaks you out, right? And dizziness because the oxygen's not all the way to their brain and whatever's going on. So we get him checked out, and she's like, you know, we'll check him for pneumonia and we'll check him for the flu. And if he doesn't have one of those, like we need to be seen somewhere else. So flu comes back negative, pneumonia comes back positive. And she said, you know, some kids, you can tell they're kind of like trying to milk it, but he just doesn't look good. Like he just doesn't look like he's feeling good. And she said, my intuition says we need to monitor him for a bit, which I can't do here. So let's move you over to Children's. They can monitor you there and just get, just watch him, right? So as a parent, right, this is not your ideal situation. So what do? Like, do you act in fear and anxious and like whatever I'm gonna feel, my son's gonna feel, right? So you breathe, like in faces of adversity, like you just breathe it out and you stay calm, and you're calm for them. You're calm for other people just as much as you are calm for yourself, right? So as that happens, I was like, you know what, I'll transport him. He's not doing bad. So I'll move him over there. And they go out to call the hospital, and like in a 7-minute time period, you guys, things went from not good but okay to just like what the hell is happening. And some of you guys have been in this sort of situation before, right? Where like I'm sitting behind him and his oxygen dropped below, like down to the 80s, so we had to keep him sitting up. And I'm behind him to hold him up with my like broken arm, right? Like trying to carry everything, and his like body just turns on fire. Like I'm dripping with his sweat. I grabbed there's no nurse there. So I grabbed the oxygen, pulled the oxygen to put it over onto his finger to monitor to see where he's at. He's just like dipped down to like 93 or so, not so bad. But then he starts like crying and yelling out, and he's like, I can't see, my vision's gone. He's like just like in aches and pains, aching and awing. It's like, I need like some support in here. Like what's going on? Then he's like, I'm gonna barf. Finally, we've got like nurses that are all coming in, grab the bin. He's barfing, his temperature's forever, his oxygen's low, his blood pressure's dropped way down. And I'm like freaking out behind him on the inside. But what do you do in the situation of life where like the freak out starts to happen? Me freaking out, me passing out, me being not like present isn't going to help anyway, like in any way, right? Same thing in your life situations. Like me acting with like fear isn't going to help anything, right? So, and this is a lot of the yoga, right, Nikki? Yeah, like to have the calmness, but it's like, so what do? I calm myself. I'm like, okay, breathe, right? So I take my deep breaths And then I'm very calm and loving and soothing into my baby's ear of breathe, like just breathe with me, right? So he's got pneumonia. We've got to get oxygen back in him. And they bring the oxygen strap on his nose. So we're like breathing through our nose together. And just finding that calmness amidst the storm. We've talked about this a lot lately, and maybe it's because I have a lot of crazy stuff that just happens to me, right? Like everybody, if you looked at your lives, everybody has crazy stuff that happens. And it tends to come in chunks, doesn't it? Like things are perfectly like just floating, like everything's great, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, whirlwind of life, like what's going on? But together we were breathing in this moment after we got all the puke out and everything, and like everything just stabilized after that. They called in an ambulance to transport him to the hospital because I couldn't monitor him on the road over there. We get to the hospital and like I'm at home obviously already, right? Like, I mean, everything's, they checked him out. He's got pneumonia. It's not even that bad of a case of pneumonia, but everything is stabilized to the point where he's fine being here. We're comfortable. I'm about to go like lay down with the little hacker back here, right? And just love on him for the rest of the day. By the way, if you jumped on late, this ponytail is courteous of him. He just did that for me. But it's like when life situations happen like that, you have to be strong, right? And I don't know, like you don't have to do anything, but like my desire is to be strong so I can be strong for the others around me. And the natural reaction sometimes is to freak out and to panic in any life that's like happening that's out of whack, right? I could have freaked out or panicked with a broken arm, with Kinsey's broken shoulder, with Jace's pneumonia, with like all the crap that's happened in my past. There's a lot of freak out opportunities that I've had where I've learned that if you decide instead of freaking out, you're going to take ownership of the situation and breathe and figure out every way that you can be present in that moment to be a source of strength and love and light, it's going to be so much better to get through. Right? And that's the lesson for today. Like my gratitude is definitely that I was at the hospital when that happened. Like, I don't know why, like, you know, how everything works, why we ended up being in urgent care, why, like, it could have easily just as happened here and I wouldn't have not known how to react to any of that. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people that took us over in the ambulance. I'm thankful that I have a job where I got to go lay with this little guy for the rest of the day and take care of myself and him and just be, and I'm thankful for my strength and for his strength and that he's feeling freaking awesome. You see him like walking around now, like I don't know, we got home and he opened up the door for me because I don't have my two arms, like such a little gentleman. It was the most adorable thing ever. So a lot of people have been like blowing up my phone because I did snap a couple of those things, just like keeping it real, my whole story, right? So everything is good. We are great. He's going to start his Z-Pack. We've been breathing through the moments. All is well over at the Carroll household. But the lesson for me today, especially in light of just having a child with pneumonia, is to breathe it out, guys. Breathe, enjoy, and be well. All right.